Ernest Hemingway once wrote, "The world is a fine place and worth fighting."
Okay, so now that we've been talking about all this technical stuff and telecine, let me just show you exactly what I do and how we transfer the film to videotape. Okay, so for this particular scene here, what we're going to do is David wants a little bit more headroom on Morgan. So we're going to just bring the shot down so we can see his hat. And then we're just going to go ahead and warm up this picture. So that's what we're going to do right now. So we're going to kind of give it this warmth. And I'm just going to pull a little bit of color out of this whole image. So as I'm warming up, I'm going to start desaturating. Try to get that sky grayish. Just for a second. What I'm matching here is this is a still of a color correction that we set. That's kind of like the basis of matching all the other shots to. So I'm kind of matching densities and skin tones and stuff to make it seem like they're all in the same area here. As you see here, the skies are totally different, but we're just going to try to get it to that same kind of tone to make it feel like it's in the same area. So that's what I'm doing right here. So I'm going to keep that correction there. And here Brad, the headroom is a little too low, so we're going to go ahead and move him up. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this shot here. As we see at the beginning, Morgan's head is kind of buried in the frame here, so we're going to bring him down a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and reframe this shot. And there at the end of the shot, he just kind of, there's a lot of headroom there. So what I'm going to basically do is put a correction in, which I'll do just in a second. I'm going to go ahead and recolor this and make this warmer, which is what David wants this scene to look like. And we're going to take out some color from it. So we're going to desaturate this just a hair. Trying to make sure that we take the blueness out of the sky there. Give this warm late afternoon feel. So I'm going to match this up from, and as we can see, the skies are slightly different, but we just kind of want to give it that same feel and just make sure it's not like a blue sky kind of day. So we're going to go for that color there. And now what we're going to do with the shot is right at the end where we see there's a lot of headroom there, we're going to take some of that headroom out. We do this, I'm going to put a dissolve in here. We'll do a slow transition. So when it finally hits that shot, we'll get the headroom back to somewhat more decent level. So that's what we have there. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the color correction of Brad. Give him the proper amount of headroom there. So now as we see the two shots cut together, the same blue shots that we have now look like warm shots together in the late afternoon. Take the same correction here. So now when we hit Kevin's shot, we're going to have to change him quite a bit. So for his particular shot here, we're going to lose some of this headroom here. I'm going to have to take give him a little bit of density. Just a little bit more harsh shadows on him, like we have here. And we're going to have to fix that sky. So again, what I'm going to do is just take some color out. So giving it more of a warm feel. So again, the whole trick will be to kind of paint the sky so it gets really close. And then from there, because that'll be the hardest thing for us to color correct. And then from there, what we'll do is we'll start affecting the rest of his face and the skin tones. So what I'm going to do is just pick out when we see this arrow moving up here. I'm just going to kind of latch on to the skin tone here, and I'm just going to kind of, you can see how it just kind of latches onto that color. And I'm just going to kind of take him away from that pink thing that David doesn't like. I'm going to kind of give him that kind of color there. Maybe just take a little bit more pinkness out of the face. So we'll get to those shots there. It'll look like that. Now also the thing that we might want to do with this shot is he looks maybe a little dark in the shadow areas. So again, everything kind of looks the same, but it looks a little dark in the shadow areas. So what we'll basically do is now we'll go ahead and put a window up here, just right on his face. Kind of do something like this. And I'm just going to brighten up his face, just like this. You can see it kind of moving. Just take a little bit of that harsh shadow, just a little bit up. We'll soften it up just a little too. So you can see the difference here, just like this. So we're just doing a small little bit amount of detail here, just to make things match a little better with all the faces. So here we're going to take, we're taking that last correction of Brad. It just looks a little dark in the shadow, so we're going to go ahead and bring that down, bring that up, give him just a little more headroom. When they have these handheld camera moves, sometimes it gets a little hairy for them, and the headroom gets a little tight. Sometimes it gets a little too much. So we'll go ahead and reframe that here in Telecine. Now that we've color corrected Kevin's face shot here, we've done a lot of work on it with a window and with secondary correction, altering the color of his face. I can now use that correction and sizing on the same shot when it comes up later in the film, which is like right here. So we can just pop that correction right in. I don't have to start from scratch. You can see the difference here with the way it looked like on the negative and what we're doing to the film now, to kind of give it this feel of this pretty dark, late afternoon kind of feel that David wanted for this particular scene. And again, when I see Morgan's shot, because it kind of looked like Kevin's, I'll pull up that same correction and I'll just kind of tweak it to make it look good from here. But I can use that as a starting basis particular shots. When I see shots that kind of look the same as other shots, I can kind of pull those same corrections up and get a good start, a head start on those shots to save some time.